we should be recording, and this time I checked the sound. I am sorry, Jessica, for not having any sound on the last video for you guys on YouTube. The whole video sound thing is relatively new to what I'm doing, especially while working with horses and riding, so bear with me. Sorry about that. So, since the last video where he was getting a little bit cranky about trotting under saddle, I did the video of the work under saddle one day, and the next day I did the long rein work to show you on the video. And he had been trotting a lot more quietly. I'm glad you got to see some of the trouble, but he had been trotting more quietly under saddle before that video day. And then on the long rein day, he was still a little wound up. And granted, the weather was windy, it wasn't in our favor, but I decided this past week to stick with the groundwork, reduce the amount of canter I was asking for, increase the amount of trot I was asking for, and give him some time on the long reins this week to sort of settle back down, because the crankiness, the anxiety, to me, that's always a little bit of a sign that he's struggling, because he's such a just really pleasant horse. He tries really hard. And so I gave him a week of a little bit of canter work, mostly trot work on the long reins. I'll show you that tomorrow in the video. And one of the things I discovered this week is he did a little bit better. Like, he's much more stable than he used to be. And so I'm just walking him on the big circle to give him an easy warm up. But what we're going to do is about 10 or 15 minutes of trot work first, and then I may or may not video the walk on the smaller circle, but we're going to do that at the end. So I thought I would show you where he's at with the trot under saddle. I actually don't know myself. I haven't been on him since the last video, but he's showing really nice trot and less excitement, more control in the canter, in the groundwork. So I'm going to try trotting him again and just see what we get today under saddle. I'll do 10 or 15 minutes to the right, I'll do 10 or 15 minutes to the left, try to keep the video at about a half an hour, and I'll do the walk work afterwards, because he definitely, the walk is still his hardest gait to get stable and balanced and really engaged. So the trot has been a little bit easier for him, but he tightens his back quite a bit. So I'm still working under saddle between walk and trot. And let's just see how it goes. Okay, so let's try a little trotty trot. And if he gets, I would much rather he break like that when I'm starting off the trot than just get faster and faster in the trot. So he's starting to look around a little bit. What I was saying in the last video that had no sound, sorry about that, is when he gets distracted, or if he gets a little fast, then I'm just tightening up the circle a foot or two. This is more typical of him trotting a little bit, breaking to the walk. So whenever he is maintaining the trot, it's entirely him. So my legs are not on. Once I get, and I'm still drucking tree branches, once I get the trot transition, my legs come off. I ride what he gives me. He breaks to the walk, that's fine. We're going to try it again. And like I said, it takes him still about 15 minutes to really find his balance and his rhythm at the trot. The transitions are going to challenge the use of the back and the hindquarters the most. So when he's choosing to walk, it's because he's not comfortable at the trot or he's lost his stability. And what he used to do was just go faster and faster. So I always let him break, ducking tree branches here. I always let him break from the trot to the walk. He can have a few strides of walk, and then we go back to the trot. And as the trot gets better, as he gets more comfortable, and he's not well balanced in the trot. We still have a lot of neck shortening, which is his hindquarter disengaging as soon as we get into trot. So the more we repeat upward, upward and downward transitions, stay with me. I don't know what's over there, but it's none of our business. I'm just going to tighten up the turn, get his attention. Yeah. Then we're going to try it again. Now, if I can sit the trot when he's only giving me little bits like this, then I can help stabilize the back and hindquarter. If the trot starts to get a little bouncy, when he starts maintaining it or he gets a little fast, then I can't be stable sitting the trot, so that's when I start posting. And he's just giving me little bits like this, and he's a little distracted. He's really going into the trot with a lot of tension. And like I said, this is our first day back in the saddle in about a week since I did the last video. Trot. And I'm ducking tree branches. And trot. And if he gets a little wild with his neck, I'm just taking the inside rein with as little neck bend as possible, but just tightening up our trot circle a few feet to help him keep the hind legs a little bit more engaged. But he wants to go upside down in the trot. I'm just going to keep repeating the transitions. He can get cranky. I know it's hard for him. And he's coming off my leg nicely, but he's just not holding the trot like he was before, which is normal. It's absolutely normal. So in the process of changing the coordination and changing the balance, I'm going to get days he's not very forward. I'm going to get days he can't slow down. And so on the days he doesn't want to go forward, like today, I'm just going to keep repeating the aid, taking what he gives me, not making a big deal out of it. And he's not really holding the trot long enough for me to start posting. So if I sit the trot, if I can stay stable enough to sit the trot, then that makes him really work harder with his hindquarters and his back. If he maintains the trot and I can't stay stable, then I'm just going to start posting so that I can be as stable as possible. And again, I'm just going to patiently repeat, repeat, repeat. And this is what takes the 10, 15, 20 minutes, is all of this repetition. And transition by transition, he starts to kind of figure out what's comfortable, what's not so comfortable. Trot. That's better. Didn't last long, but that was a much softer trot. Not that one. Trot. Just try. Don't be cranky. Very nice. I like that he at least attempted to lengthen his neck. Trot. That's getting better. And we break to walk. And I'm just going to put my legs back on, giving him time, but I want him back in the trot. Trot. And he's been able to find decent balance in the trot, like hopefully you saw in the last video, even though it wasn't narrated for those moments. But the transitions, he's still going upside down for a lot of the transitions, which if the trot were really, if he couldn't pull his balance together in the trot, I would be more particular about the transitions. But I don't mind the upside down transitions too much, as long as he's experimenting, changing, and getting better. Trot. Now, when he does put his neck long like that, that's when the back is getting more laterally stable, as is the hindquarter. So it's not hard to let the reins slide when he's trotting with a longer neck. When he's shortening the neck like that, it's a pretty bouncy ride because he's tightening his back quite a bit. Trot. So I'm just going to keep repeating. I always let him break, because that way he can find his stability, relax a little. The upward and the downward work the hindquarter and the back the most. So the more the better, even though it's a little harder to ride than when the trot is nice and rhythmic. It's easier to kind of get my rhythm on. All the stopping and starting is a little hard to keep your balance front to back. And he's a little crooked pushing up on my right side. So I'm just keeping my weight more to the right. Trot. I know. Good boy. And there where he lengthens his neck, the trot actually feels smoother. So he's lengthening the neck because he's getting more stable through his back and hindquarters with all these transitions and fussiness and imperfections. I know. Try it again. I really got to get these tree branches trimmed. And trot. Now he's starting to find a little bit better rhythm when he is trotting. He's still not holding it very well, which is fine. I'm going to let him break, have a few strides of walk. And that actually costs the horses a lot more energy, but it has the benefit of them relaxing and finding stability after each downward transition into walk. So I don't have to let him walk, trot, for very long, right? But if I allow the transition and a few strides of walk, that's exactly how he's going to figure out more comfort, better balance in the trot. As the trot gets more comfortable for him, he'll start to maintain it again. Oh, the poopiest horse. At least 2 or 3 times per ride. Trot. So in the last video, you saw him maintaining the trot, going faster, slower, faster, slower, faster, slower. And today, he's having a hard time maintaining. It could be because this is one of the first times I didn't really do the walk warm up on the small circle. So all of these transitions will warm the hindquarters up the same way. But that could be what's taking some time for him to get warmed up enough there. That's much better. Much more comfortable trot. Then we lose it. Then we try it again. And trot. So all horses do this. They go from too fast to not wanting to go forward, to not wanting to stop, not wanting to go forward. And I'm just going to keep repeating, not making him feel wrong for breaking the trot. I'm just repeating the leg aid. And he can try again and try again and try again until he gets more comfortable in the trot. All of that costs him more energy than just maintaining an efficient trot rhythm. But that's for him to discover, not for me to try to artificially put together. It's harder work for me too with all these transitions. And trot. And I'm always keeping a short enough rein that I have steering, I have control, but as long a rein as possible, and also as loose a rein as possible. One of the habits he had was to try to get the rider to hold him up by pushing on the bit and balancing on the bit. I would much rather have exactly what just happened. When he goes to lengthen his neck and I'm not holding him up, if he's not stable through his back and hindquarter, he's going to break the trot, and that's just fine. Right, the tossing his head like that, that's just him pulling into trot instead of pushing into trot. And like I said, it's a bit of an experiment today to not do the walking small circles to warm him up and just go straight to the trot. In the groundwork, that's been very useful. He's really done well with that approach. Today, I'm not so sure I like this. I think it's taking longer to get the trot to come together without the walking warm-up to stabilize his hindquarters. And he's really shortening his neck a lot more than what I've had in the past. So I'm just gonna keep going, because he feels like he's almost pulling it together now, but it's been almost 10 minutes. Trot. Trot. That was better. A couple of good strides. Trot. Trot. Better. Trot. Trot. That's better. And he's kind of making the circle smaller, which seems to be working for him. So I'm going to stick with that. That's getting better. And trot. No, no, stop with the head. Just push. Thank you, just like that. Very good. So all I did there when he tosses his head like that, I'm letting the left rein go. And because I need the right rein for steering a little, I'm just tightening the circle when he gets fussy like that, just like as if he got fast. So you can see I'm hanging on to the right rein, trot, but not the left rein, not both reins. Trot. And trot. And trot. So I'm still letting him break to the walk. I'm just giving him a few strides of walk, trot, and right back to trot. And trot. Better. And trot. Much better. So finally now, I want to say we're close to 15 minutes into it. So I'm going to give him another 5. I want to keep going until it comes together. That's always the lesson. Whether we make a million transitions to find the balance, or he trots and trots and trots a little bit too fast and then finds his balance, doesn't matter. Trot. Today, it looks like we're doing the million transition route. That was better. Trot. And trot. And trot. Didn't bring the whip today because I haven't needed it. That was very good. That was very, very well done. I know. And trot. I know. And trot. That's getting better. I'd like him to maintain it a little bit longer. That would tell me that he feels comfortable as the trot gets smoother. The fact that he's still resisting the upward transitions a little, that's much better. Much better. Much better. Good boy. It was much better. I know. So I think that might be exactly 15 minutes. Pretty sure it's exactly 15 minutes. So I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. And trot. And see if he doesn't get a little more consistency in the rhythm and the balance, and a little bit less resistance to my leg aid, a little bit less head tossing. That's getting better. Trot. That's getting much better. Boy, when his trot comes together, you really feel it. It is not bouncy. He gets more suspension. He relaxes his back. And it's buoyant, but very smooth. Really nice. Good boy. And trot. And trot. Much better. Trot. And when he does lengthen his neck, it gets so smooth to ride. You're not really worried about giving the reins away. It's more when his neck is short that he can get a little amped up, a little excited, and distracted like that, and trot. So I always have a light connection with the reins, but I'm really quick. If he wants to lengthen the neck, that's usually what comes last after the back and the hindquarter get more organized. So you sort of feel how steady it is when he wants to pull and lengthen his neck. It's actually pretty easy to sit that trot or post that trot on a loose rein. A little bit more. And trot. I know. Don't get cranky. Just figure it out. That's it. That's pretty good. And again, if I can sit the trot, even though his back isn't developed, it can have a very strong stabilizing effect where he needs it, through the back and the hindquarters. And trot. If it gets too bouncy, then I'm going to post. Good boy. So that's about 2 minutes shy of 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is spend at least 10 minutes walking on the small circle, stabilize the hindquarters, and instead of making this the warm-up, I'm trying it at the end. I may or may not stick with this program. I'm not unhappy with how he did starting with the trot instead of the warm-up, but I might switch that back and forth when I ride to see which way he does better. So I'm just going to walk him a little bit on the small circle in order to keep the hind legs engaged and stabilize the hindquarter and the back a little further. And then I think I'll stop the video here and I'll do a separate video for the other direction, because that took longer than I thought for the trot work.